The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Monday, the 29th day of March, 2021. Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, and Lindos. I'm Jamal Hartman, along with Carla Zul. Thanks for making us part of your daily routine. If you're watching online, share the link. If you're on Facebook, start a watch party. If you're on Twitter, retweet it. If you're watching on Channel 82 or listening on the Full 100 radio station, call someone up and let them know we're on. Just get the conversation out there to your network. And don't forget to like and engage with us. A good one to begin the short week for us. Well, yeah, us. Coral Wells is stopping by to discuss the Technology Leadership Forum. The Daily Play is a Who Said It. So Carla is guessing the answer to a famous quote.
I got this.
I think you got this, Carla. I want to share something before we get into it. We've got a lot to cover. But
a lot of famous quotes.
Share something with you.
Mm-hmm.
So on Friday, I was tagging along with the wife, and I actually ended up going to get to the stadium where Inter Miami, David Beckham's team play. And I was not registered, did not necessarily qualify, but I actually got the vaccine.
It's weird you say that. I was going to ask you offline if you were considering it. Go ahead.
Well, I wasn't. Like I said, I wasn't registered or anything. And so, I've been very honest. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to the vaccine, you've never heard me say yay or nay. I'm not really easily influenced by people and things, if you haven't realized already. The way I see it is, for me, I understand it's not perfect. I've never had it wasn't my choice to get vaccinated in my life until I had to get my U.S. residency. And when I got my U.S. residency, I actually had to get the flu shot, first and only one I've had in my life. I have been privileged to travel to certain countries that require certain vaccinations as well. So I've had to get vaccinations to travel to certain countries, whether that be school or going over vacation in different parts of the world. So you've never heard me say yay or nay to it. But that's
how you feeling?
Well, I'm getting there. I mean, I got it on Friday, and I honestly didn't even feel the needle go into me. But Saturday morning was a different story. My arm, I was like, I didn't lift weights yesterday. Well, what's going on? It was heavy. It was heavy. And then into Saturday night, I, for the first time in years, had a cold. Like I was, blowing my nose and so on. So there were definitely effects from it within the next 24 to 48 hours. Now I'm okay. And it's not. I'm not here to sell anybody or change anyone's mind. I've never discussed the vaccine really. I've never said what I would do or not.
When do you go back for your second dose? 30 days.
3 weeks from the day I got it.
So I've been having this discussion all weekend, which is why I was going to ask you, because I found out the one I'm eligible for, if I get it, I have to wait 12 weeks for the second one.
Well, I haven't told you the funniest part about it. All I've said is I wasn't registered and I ended up getting it by chance. Pretty much as I went there, and my wife saying, "Oh, my husband's here. Can he get one?" And they were like, "How old are you?" "Nope, don't qualify." "Do you have any conditions?" "Nope, don't qualify." What I'm about to tell you, folks, and I went extra hard in the gym today.
It says height.
How much do you weigh? So how much do I weigh? Okay, so I'm about 170, right?
You weigh less than me. You
And then
lightweight.
they said, oh, well, what's your BMI? And I'm like, well, I don't know what my BMI is,
97.
whatever. Well, they said if your BMI is over 24, you qualify. So basically, folks, I was allowed to get a vaccine because I'm overweight.
Well, you weigh less than me, so I way qualify.
Well, they say my BMI says I'm supposed to be 155 pounds. When I was 155 pounds, I mean, you couldn't see me. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm overweight, so I qualified, and yes, I did get the vaccine. But again, I have never spoken for or against it. I just feel like, you know, as Dr. Amani said, we should do what we feel is in our best interest. So there's my story. There we go. There we go. But look, we must move on because I have a question for the audience. Obviously, there was a lot of talk this weekend about, especially on Twitter, right? On Twitter, a lot of conversation regarding the tweet from the handle belonging to one Collie Buddz. And people had opinions. And I guess my question to everyone today is, what really upset them about that tweet? Like, what's the issue that people have with the tweet? Well, where's the concern? Where's the issue? I really want to get an understanding of where people stand. Because, I mean, Twitter's brutal. Bermuda Twitter is like, you know, growing up, you always felt Bermuda was probably a very unforgiving place. Well, that hasn't changed. Just moved to Twitter. Twitter can be one unforgiving place. Well, social media, period. But
are you gonna read the tweet or no?
Yeah, I'll read it. But you know, what are people's thoughts on it? You seem eager, caller.
I want the audience to know what it said first.
Oh no, they don't even know what to say. I'm asking you. What you saw it?
Listen, I did see it. It was xenophobic. I felt that it was racist. I felt it brought up so much for me because as a white entertainer, to make a comment about, he was referring to Dr. Ayo, the chief medical officer in Bermuda. And I'm like, you know what? You can emulate everyone, the Black culture any other time, but because you're against however you feel, and his feelings are his feelings, that's not the issue. But the fact that he made that statement and people, you misappropriate the culture when it suits you, the Black culture, but then you're going to sit here and make this comment about this educated African doctor. I just had a real problem with it. And then I had problem with certain people who were defending it. It just really annoyed me, you know, because we talked about it ironically on Friday with Rusty G about the Jamaican accent, right? And Collie Buddz uses it all the time. And some people can't understand that, but you're going to make this comment about the doctor, but then people's getting tuned in. And I'm not saying boycott or none of that, but we always make excuses. And I'm just saying the collective proverbial we make excuses for when people do offensive things and say, oh, it's just a joke or it's just a personality. That's where I have a problem.
All right. Well, okay. I'm not speechless. I'm just trying to be, well, I don't have to be, you know. Let's just say this. Look, Black Bermudians have every right to take issue with what was said on Mr. Budd's Twitter handle, right? I give him that. For those who don't know, here's what the tweet said. The stupidity, quote, the stupidity of this keeps proving itself. One person can't even speak the same language, in brackets English, properly, and then the next one is, quote, sorry, I don't have the info in front of me, end quote, and we still listening. We're all assuming the tweet is referencing the chief medical officer and minister of health, right? If that's the case, let me state that I have no issue with Mr. Buddz questioning the given experts. And yes, he, like all of us, should have the right to question what we don't agree with. But then it gets interesting. See, the problem with the tweet on Mr. Budd's Twitter handle is the attack on the CMO's accent. Why is this a problem, you might ask? It's a problem because just recently, another non-Black Bermudian man also had the audacity to disregard and disrespect the Black experience, stating that Black people today are not in chains and haven't been through what our ancestors went through. It almost came across as if there's a level playing field amongst us and we should just get over it. Here's the issue. Some non-Black people believe that because they have Black friends, went to majority Black schools, mingle with a majority of Black people, appropriate Black culture, and maybe even dream of dating or even do date Black people, that they can say what they want and do as they please as it relates to Black people and our experiences. We have made some non-Black people feel comfortable enough. We have made them feel comfortable enough to disrespect us. And this is why they are okay disregarding our experiences, appropriating our culture, and making fun of our accents. That said, the challenge is to Black people. This is happening too often. Where do we draw the line? It's been said that Black people are the biggest consumers. If this is true, collectively, we hold more power than we may believe. It's past time to hold even our closest non-Black friends, colleagues, associates, family, all of them accountable. No one should feel comfortable enough to disrespect us consistently. Let this be the day when we say enough is enough. Black people, you're upset, feel disrespected, angry. Well, the next move is on you. And that's pretty much where I'm going to leave it.
But here's the other part of it, Mal. Looking at all the comments, right? Because there were tons and tons and tons. The right thing to do would have been to address, apologize, retract something towards Dr. Ayo, right? I can't pronounce his last name, so forgive me, sir, if you're watching. But then your next tweet was basically like, yeah, I'm still waiting for info. I guess they're off on weekends. To me, that just made it even, like, just stumped in it and rubbed it in more. At least pretend, but then, hey, show me who you are, right? At least pretend that you were apologetic about the comment. It just blew me.
But there's two things I think you've missed in my entire what I just said. One,
yeah, Black people
are all assuming, because again, we have to watch our language. We're assuming he's talking about the chief medical officer.
Mal, you serious?
No, I'm dead serious. Because
wow.
When it comes to lawsuits and white people,
and what Wendy Williams says, he allegedly, Dan. Sorry.
He cannot prove that he was speaking about them because he didn't name them. This is not me sticking up for him. This is just legit how the world works. That's one. Number two is my issue. I could take huge issue with what Mr. Bud said, but I'm talking to Black people. I'm not talking to him. I have no expectations of him. It's us. This is on us. This is on us. He wouldn't be what he is without us. So we need to focus on us. I have no expectations. And that's what we have to do. We have to manage our expectations. I do not give a crap what this guy says right now. What I care about is how we react.
Right. The people that I tweeted and I said, but we collective, because I don't, and I stopped for a long time listening to that station. Oh, we're not, what? Our DJs who look like us are playing on there. And I'm just like, really? Really? And I'm not against any of them, because a couple of them are like my good brethren, but you ain't got to click from Carla Zule's house. I'm sorry. And it has a statement needs to be, I shouldn't say needs to be made because to each his own, but a statement can be made more powerful than people realize.
Yeah, but why do we care about an apology though? I want to go back to that. Like, why do we care about somebody saying sorry to us? This is not the issue. Once Black people understand and realize their power, guess what? This guy his next statement wouldn't matter to us. But
The apology wouldn't, Mal.
And our power.
The apology wouldn't. I'm speaking on behalf of me now. The apology wouldn't. But my point is, like, you're just being like the other day. You said, so I made a statement in one of the shows, and you said, and I said, my apologies. Like, I acknowledge it and move on. I'm not saying grovel in it. But to me, if like the statement I made in reflection was insensitive, right? Mm-hmm. I acknowledged it. I said, Flip, that was wrong. Apologize, kept trucking. Like, you're not even going to acknowledge your wrongdoing. And I'm not saying expectation. Maybe that's how I am, because if I do somebody dirty or whatever, or I inadvertently offend someone, the first thing I'm going to do is say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. It's a difference.
Well, we're very different, because you could keep your sorry. At the end of the day, sorry doesn't change behavior and what's done. I'll just be very frank with you all. That's something that's been part of most of my relationships throughout my life, family, friends, whatever. Nah, you could keep your sorry. I mean, at the end of the day, not doing it again and change behavior means more. And so the fact that if this gentleman said sorry and he doesn't mean it, I mean, I don't care for words. Like, I'm big. You all know me, right? You've had me speaking to you for the last 10, 11 months. Keep your dang sorry. What I want to see is change behavior. And because I have no expectations of this individual, then I don't care what his next move is. My point this morning is to get Black people to understand their power. But let me just touch on what Carla's saying, though. And this is note this, because we hold highly, as she stated, the individuals who made DJ Farm. But what you can't do, folks, and what we can't do, and Rick Olson watches this show all the time. But I remember when he was having issues and people were saying, boycott Rick Olson. And then there were people defending, saying, well, if you boycott Rick Olson, it's going to hurt the Black people who work for him. So this is how we think. You think Dr. King and them would have said, well, no, don't boycott those brands because they have Black employees? Nah, that's not how it works.
Regardless of who, when Carla Zio decides she's not frequenting, I could be dead on the side of the road and you have a drink shop. And if I do not support your business, I'm going to die fat and parched, okay? Because you're not getting, and nobody better even say they're running in to buy me a drink out of that shop because I don't want it. That's how I've been for the last like 5-6 years. When I say I'm done, I'm done. So.
Well, I guess Carla won't be listening to finally whatever comes around. But that said, I definitely go to the let's go to the audience, see what everyone's saying. Jana Smith says he's not going to apologize. He's not sorry. No, I don't think so. Shay Renee says no apology needed. He said what he said. Nicole Brockington, I agree, Jamal. What are we going to do now? And that's my question. Shay Renee, dang Jamal, you can write speeches for people. Renee Charlene Simmons, someone who consistently imitates the West Indian tongue of Black reggae artists. How dare he? Most disrespectful. And I want to say someone said earlier, I can't find a comment, but let's go to Davika's. She says everyone don't need to be invited to the cookout, and that's it. Like I think we've made people, as I stated, we've made certain people feel too comfortable disregarding and disrespecting us. And you know, as long as I have this platform, I'm gonna do what I can to make sure that, you know, we take pride in who we are, what we are, and we defend who we are and what we are. I mean, I'll tell you, man, this is not about disliking or disrespecting non-Black people. This is about getting them to understand we're not going to tolerate their ish. That's what it's about. And we have to, folks. You know, Ellen Young asks a great question. If a Black person made a similar comment, most Black people would have looked straight across it. And I was waiting for someone to say this.
I don't do xenophobia, period.
I was waiting for someone to say this because there have been a lot of times when, like, if a Black person said, oh, you know, such and such doesn't even speak good English. I mean, I don't think the reaction would have been the same as it is with Carly Bloods. I think there would have been reaction, but I don't think the reaction would have been the same. Carla, Bobby Singh.
He's just trying to stay relevant. Attacking someone's accent is shallow and xenophobic. Most people with accents can speak two languages. His comments were offensive, especially when directed to a person who is working to enhance the health and safety of those who live on the same island he is from. A total has been.
Sean Smith says, we do not own nothing. We do not own banks. We do not own hospitals. We do not own our own food. So to boycott is pointless because you still support a system through banking, grocery stores. Nothing to do. Nothing is going to change our own. Sorry. So here's the thing, Sean. But this goes back to my question. The next move's on us. Everything you just stated. I said on this show many months ago, and we got to go to the news break. I said many months ago that we don't prepare enough to be made redundant. And here's what I mean by that, or meant by it at that time and still mean today. How many people work in these big reinsurance companies or banks, right? And they get made redundant. How many of them worked in these institutions for years and years and years, but yet they don't have the funding or know-how to go and start their own? This is a concern within our community. So, before we go to the news break, I just really want people to do a couple of things. We speak about accountability when it comes to politics and government. It's also on us. We have to be accountable for our actions, and we have to manage our expectations, whether it's the Bermuda national football team or expecting a non-Black Bermudian who you feel is appropriating culture to say what he feels he can say. We have to be consistent with our actions and our thoughts. I'll leave it at that. And Carla, any final thing on that before you hit your news break?
Nah.
All righty, over to you.
Premier David Burt has warned that government may be reporting triple-digit COVID cases for the first time tonight. Speaking on the Shirley Dill Show on Ocean 89 yesterday, the premier warned that the number of cases over the next few days will be staggering. It is likely on Monday that we'll be reporting triple-digit cases for the first time. They will look very staggering, but that's because we're casting a very wide net. This is very transmissible, so one person, if they are positive, is spreading it to a number of people far more than what we were seeing in our previous outbreaks. The premier adding that the new cases are from the UK B117 variant, which is highly transmissible and is driving the outbreak. He added that the new outbreak is widespread, but hospitalizations are expected to be lower as many people are already vaccinated. And that was courtesy of the Royal Gazette. World Piano Day has been designed to celebrate this incredible instrument, which has brought many of us joy over the years. No matter whether you play the piano yourself or you have an appreciation for this sort of music, we can all appreciate that listening to a quality pianist is a joy. If you love hearing classical music, then listen to some beautiful music on your favorite device. If you're wanting a fun night out, socially distant, of course, then attend a socially distant concert at your local theater when they reopen. If you're really adventurous, then take some piano lessons at a local establishment or even through online courses. While listening or playing amazing piano music, use the hashtag World Piano Day all throughout your social media and let everyone know that this day is all about the beautiful piano. Turning to weather, the temperature in Bermuda is expected to reach a high of 74 today. Las Vegas, Nevada will see a high of 84, and London, UK, a high of 66. That's your Daily Hour news break.
Carla, I've never been one to pronounce my words properly, but can you say pianist again?
I said it properly. I said pianist.
It sounded like you said penis. Honestly, I noticed PG, but I was like,
I would never. World Penis Day?
Yeah, it didn't come across well. Anyway, we have a very important guest in the back waiting to join us. We're talking Technology Leadership Forum. Coral Wells is in the back. We're going to take a quick break. We have a lot more to come, folks. A lot more. Did she just snort? She needs a break. We'll be right back. Stick with us.
Mom's celebrating her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dendy Town Field. Number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
We're introducing an exciting new line of all-natural cleansing products from Dr. Jacobs Naturals, brought to our shores by Premier Distributors Limited. Dr. Jacobs Naturals is a family business who have directly experienced the special needs of those with extra sensitive skin. Their response? To research and incorporate the methods of Swiss chemist Dr. Jacobs, who perfected the traditional production of Castile soap, and then dial in the perfect pure organic ingredients and their proportions for a wondrously soothing cleansing experience. Find it at Lindo's Devonshire this month. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
All right, welcome back to the Big Show. She's Carla Zool. I'm Jamal Hartman. It's the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House One Communications, Windows, and our friends over at Channel 82, where you can also watch this and many other locally produced shows if you have One Communications cable. Folks, I just want to say I'm glad that other people heard what I thought I heard, because I didn't want to,
I made a conscious decision. I was like, this word, because I remember the reggae song, and I said the pianist is what I said. I was speaking good diction. Okay, bring on Coral. I really.
All right, let's bring in our guest for the day, because this is going this is going late night show. Good morning, Coral. Welcome to the show.
Oh my God, you guys are funny.
Morning, Coral.
Hi guys, good morning.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. Wow, Carla is funny. Speak to us. You're here to speak about the Technology Leadership Forum. For those who don't know, just give a little background. What is the Technology Leadership Forum?
So the Technology Leadership Forum is an internship program for our students who are studying any type of technology. And it's been around for about, I want to say 13, 14 years. There's a little bit of a sort of discrepancy there, because we started it, and then we started it, but we didn't actually implement it for another year. So we wanted to get all the I's dotted and T's crossed before we started. So I want to say about 2000, maybe 2007 or 8, something like that. So anyway, what it is university students, college students, and now I think because of COVID, we realize that some students just aren't able to, whether it be for financial reasons or just because of COVID, can't go to university. So we're accepting applications from them as well to participate in this internship program. It's a 12-week paid summer internship program where they are placed at a company, and they have a work experience at the company. And then they also have the ability to work on a team project. They have the ability to take like tests or classes. So we provide about 25 different classes throughout the summer. They're tested on them. And then there's also a mentoring program. So within their field of study, they have, they're assigned a mentor who helps and guides them through not just the summer, but sort of through their career experiences, right? Like helping them make decisions. Our IT field is so small that having somebody that's kind of a seasoned professional really can help you get to where you need to get to.
Indeed. I want to go back to the applications part. You mentioned that you went kind of through the process, but applications are being received right now, right? They're being accepted. But who exactly should apply, and where can people who might think that, you know what, I want to get into the IT field, like where can they get more information to see if it's really something that's applicable to them?
Sure. So we have a website. It's tlf.bm, and the applications are only accepted online. So people can go to www.tlf.bm. If they have additional questions, they can always email info@tlf.bm, and we'll answer any questions they have. The deadline date is March 31st. I have to say that I still suggest people apply even after March 31st, because you never know what could happen. And I wouldn't want people not to apply just because the deadline has passed. We're trying to give as many students the opportunity as possible. So yeah, and it's mainly for students who have already started the sort of post high school education in IT. So you could be at Bermuda College, you could be, if they're in a university overseas or college overseas, or what if they're taking online classes, right? So because of COVID and we're all about different ways of learning. If you're doing a couple of certifications or classes online after college, then after high school, then you can apply.
I want to go back because you must watch this show and may have heard me speaking about interns and paid interns, not paid. Yes, I'm happy to hear that it is paid internship in 2021. But what can those accepted into the internship program expect to take away? I know you mentioned the getting into different companies, but speak to some of the things that they can take away from it.
Sure, absolutely. So, well, obviously, when you talk about it being paid, we realize that our students come back from university and they have to work, right? It's all well and good to get experience, and we know that there's this really stupid catch-22 where it says, okay, well, I can't hire you because you don't have any experience, but then how the hell am I supposed to get experience if nobody will hire me, right? So that's exactly what the program helps with, is it gives them hands-on experience in a particular company. And our companies range from maybe like a Validus Re, a Ren Re, Liberty Financial, Liberty Specialty Markets, a CCS, a Belco, a new blockchain company called Stable House. So Deloitte, a wide range of varying companies that are true technology companies, and then reinsurance companies that need tech. And so you get this amazing experience out of it. We've had about 90 alumni, and those alumni, probably about 85 to 90% of them are all working in companies. And so we're not a placement, we're not a job placement company, so that, like, say after you finished university or college, that you're automatically guaranteed that you're going to get hired. You have to put the work in, right? So it's not an easy internship. They have the work placement, they have a team project, and where the maybe 10 of them or however many it is per year work together, usually building like a mobile app or something like that, and getting that team building and bonding experience. And then, like I said, there's 25 or so modules, training modules, and they have to pass those training modules because they're tested, right? They have to pass them with 75% or better in order to get a certificate out of this program and be recognized as a TLF alumni.
Now, Cole, excuse me, you focus on, according to your website, you focus on youth development. Why is it so important to develop young people's interest in technology at a young age?
Sure. So as some of you may know, I wear a couple of different hats, right? So the TLF focuses on our students in college and university. However, they go into the schools and whenever there's like a career day and talk to the students about careers in technology. So that's one of the things that the TLF offer to our youth and helping our youth development. My other hat that I wear is Connect Tech, and trying to trying to encourage students trying to encourage students to understand at the ages of a middle school student, 12, 13, 14, that how important technology is in any career is really, it's extremely important, because unfortunately, we're asking our kids to make decisions about their career choices at the ages of 14 and 15, and they don't have any information about that. So being able to provide them with any type of information is extremely important at the young age to help them decide. I personally think that sometimes it's a little too young for them to make a decision, a life-changing decision like that. But we realize that sometimes the establishments expect that. So it is what it is. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Often in your field, we see men in technology. Are more young ladies getting involved in IT?
Yep, it's awesome. I'm so glad that you asked that. So we have had, like I said, we've had about 90 graduates from the TLF alumni, and I make an effort every year to make sure that we have our women represented in the TLF. And I want to say we're close to half and half, at least in the TLF. And they're doing amazing jobs. I mean, some of our alumni are Sierra Fox, Michelle Butterfield, Hannah Collins, Brittany Easton, Justine Birch, right? There's a ton of them, and they are doing amazing things. They're making their way up the ladder, which, yes, is very challenging. So we also, in that alumni, once you become an alumni, we have professional development. We have people like Dr. Crystal Clay who come in and talk to them about their personality traits and things like that. How to handle conflict when they're in their environments, right? In their work environments, and when they come to the table with struggles, how do they get to that boardroom table as a woman? So we have these different initiatives for our alumni to help improve their leadership skills, because that's what we want. We want leaders. Yes, we want to push for our women leaders, absolutely. But we want to just push for our Bermudian leaders as well.
Now, you've just spoken of the alumni program. How beneficial has it been to graduates of your program?
So they're really awesome. I would have loved to have some of them come in, and maybe we can plan for some of them to come onto your show in the future. But it's been, extremely beneficial. We have Sheldon Jones, who started, I want to say he was like the second year. So like 2000 and I want to say 10 or 2009 or 10, something like that. And he's now a manager at Belgo, right? And we have Ayana Wolf, who she's at Renaissance Re, and she started in the help desk, and she's moved her way up in Renaissance Re to also be a manager. So we definitely see all of our alumni progressing. Each and every sort of year, we hear about new promotions that they get, and just making those connections. As an alumni, they have this group chat that they're all on together, and I see them passing job opportunities available around the group chat, talking to each other. They get together for socials on a regular basis to make sure everybody's cool, things like that. It's pretty awesome, the connection that they build.
I was going to ask you, what are the different not occupations, but different areas and positions they've gone into? But along with that, what has been your feedback from employers about your program?
So our employers actually love it. What we find from the employers as a sponsor, right? The employers get, and the employers are the sponsors, and they get access to sort of our list of alumni. So if there's a job available in their organization, I tend to get an email and say, hey, we're looking to advertise this post or this position. Do you have anybody from the TLF alumni that might be available, might be looking, that sort of thing. So they get kind of first access to our, I would say, database of students. And that's one of the benefits to them. But I think what they love out of it is they know that a student coming out of the TLF program is a well-rounded student. So not only do they have the like technical skills from like 101, so maybe a student decided to go to university for networking, but some of the classes that we teach are project management, programming, business analyst, audit and financials, compliance. And so we're not saying that they're going to have in-depth knowledge of that, but at least they have like the basics and they can hold a conversation about what it means. So the companies feel that they have received a student that has a well-rounded knowledge of all aspects of IT, and they can sit in a company and understand the discussions.
Now, what are the demands for IT specialists in Bermuda? And is it safe to assume that now with so many people working from home that the demand has increased?
Yeah, so there's always been a high demand for IT professionals. And that's one of the reasons why we started the TLF was we found that our students were not studying or going into the correct career paths. And what the companies needed, they weren't seeing in the Bermudian student. And so that's one of the reasons why it was formed. And so what we're finding right now is some of the top IT sort of skills that are needed are obviously security, like cybersecurity is a huge component right now of what the demand is. So any type of security, cybersecurity and security position. And then also programming. So if you can imagine, everything is being brought online, right? So I think this morning I was listening to a talk about what the airports are doing and how they're planning on, doing some digital apps and things like that to have everybody travel around the world to validate it's like a digital passport and things like that. So programmers and security people are needed from the IT field, right? And also think about in order to build these different apps, there's always a business analyst that's needed and a project manager that's needed, right? Then there's always the infrastructure person. So where is this app going to be hosted? And so they need to understand the infrastructure behind whatever the app or technology is that's being used. Obviously, the really big one, which the apps are going to be talked about and needed, is AI, right? So AI is AI is another huge topic that can be talked about. But AI is another field. If you're interested in technology, definitely look into artificial intelligence.
All right, let's go to the audience. We've got some questions. Shay Renee asks, do the alumni offer mentorship?
A great question, Shay. So yes, so our alumni come back every summer. Some of them are even doing the professional training that we offer, those 25 to 30 courses I talked about. Many of them are alumni that offer those courses. So that just shows you how advanced they are in their field, that they can come back and teach the course that they've studied, right? But then they also come back and they do some of the mentoring. So we don't actually like to pick mentors for students because we think it should be an organic sort of approach, right? You need to connect with the person that you feel most comfortable with. So we do like panel discussions, and then as you start to meet and network with some of the alumni, you can decide who you would like to be your mentor.
We have another question. Kathy Brumby asks, how many young people participate annually?
So the participation annually really depends on how many companies we can get as sponsors, right? So however many positions a company offers. So usually we range anywhere from about 6, and I think we've gone up as high as 14. So it just depends on the number of sponsors we have. We try and do as much as we can. In some cases, we've had companies that will take two students per summer.
Okay. Before we let you go, just remind people, where they can find out more information. how they can figure out whether or not this is right for them or someone they know?
Sure, absolutely. So the website is www.tlf.bn, and we have an online application. If you have any questions about that application, you can email us at info@tlf.bn. I'll also give my phone number. If you have any questions, it's 704-3677, and they can call me directly and I'll answer any questions. They can reach out to any of our alumni that are on our website and ask them as well if you know them. I'm sure they won't mind if you hit them up on Twitter or Insta or however you want to, if you have them on WhatsApp, and ask them about it. And then the deadline is March 31st. But like I said, I would ask, if March 31st is not possible, still apply. Obviously apply as soon as possible, because you never know what could happen.
All right. Got two more questions from the audience. Sure. Alan asked, how can businesses get involved?
Thanks, Alan. That's a great one. We on our website as well, if they want to contact me or go through the website to see what the different packages are. I'll reach out to you and provide you with our sponsorship packages that are available. And it's more of a one-on-one discussion of, we tailor it to the different companies and what they're able to support us with and supply.
All right. Charles H. Jeffers II says, how much of an emphasis is placed on leadership with this program?
Excellent. Thank you, Charles. So what's really great is we're developing leaders, right? So as I mentioned, we have like Sheldon and Ayana, who have moved up within their respective companies to become leaders at their companies, right? But also on the other side of it, we're also encouraging, and we continue to encourage our alumni to give back to the organization as well. And they've become board members, right? So now they're taking on the responsibility of what happens within the TLF organization. And that's part of what the alumni training helps with, is how do I become this effective leader in my community?
Right. Michelle White asks, are there any prerequisites in terms of grades in particular subjects?
So, we always look for a student who has good grades. I have to say, and good grades is relative, right? For us, it's more about passion, right? For us, it's more about show me that you're dedicated to this career field. So I'll give you an example. We talk about, when we interview the students, we ask them, so what do you do in your free time? We ask them, and they may say, okay, I play soccer, right? And obviously I have a soft spot for Dandytown, so that gives them an extra point. Just joking. Anyway, so they, what do they do then? If they turn around and say, oh, well, I've been building computers, I've been creating apps, we ask them where they get their information about new technology, like what websites do you go to? And those different questions show us how dedicated they are to being a future technologist, right? So if it's something that you just do on your 9 to 5 or whatever, we realize that you're not to say that you won't get the position or you won't get a space, but we realize that you're not as dedicated as someone who, I go on CNET, or these are the different people that I follow, organizations that I follow to get more information about up and coming technology and future technology. So it's all about your passion, not so much about your grades, right? Grades are relative, right? Some kids don't test very well, and it's unfair to say that because I only got a C, I shouldn't be considered for this program.
Yeah.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
I know who in this room still doesn't test well, but
I don't either, I don't. Wow.
Yeah. No, I like that, and I'm glad we can end it on that note, because testing, probably wasn't in my best interest. But thank you so much for the welcome.
Thank you guys for having me.
Really, really thank you. We'll make sure that we share the information. March 31st is in 2 days. Today is what, 22 days. So we'll do our best to get it out to our audience. Really appreciate you all and thankful for what you're doing in the community. So thank you for coming.
Thank you guys. Have a great one.
You too, Carl.
Okay, bye.
Awesome conversation. I love those conversations, especially we've spoken about wellness, we've spoken about technology. We had Sloan on with the cyber tips, and so on. So it's really, there's opportunities there. When we talk about what Denny's doing at Whitehorse and what Carl's doing with Technology Leadership Forum, opportunities are definitely, they should be there for young people in the coming years. Yeah. Let's go. Mark, Arthur C. Phillips actually says, good morning, people. Smash the like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. That's on YouTube. So if you haven't already, if you enjoyed the conversation with Ms. Coral Wells or the discussion earlier this morning, make sure you do smash a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the notification bell so that you get notified every time we have something. Charles H. Jeffers too says, I love the emphasis on passion. That's something that can't be taught. Burgess is so very important during this time and provide opportunities to show skills in many ways. And Alan Young, great conversation. Folks, don't go anywhere. We have the Daily Play coming up. Just an easy quote for Carla to guess today, but make sure you give us a like, make sure you give us a love, make sure you give us a laugh if you found something that Carla said funny. Yeah. The great thing about the emojis is that people can't sing. So I really appreciate that. Carla can't sing. We'll be right back. Stick with us. Don't go anywhere.
At Bermuda Communications Group Limited, we love to help businesses and organizations of all sizes across various industries. Find out how we've been working with our clients to improve their customer experience and increase their revenue. Send us an email to contact@bermudacommunications.com to see how we can assist you next.
Are you a startup business and need access to office space and resources to help your business get started or to grow? The Enterprise Bermuda Incubator is a free program that helps entrepreneurs like you get beyond the idea stage to get their businesses started. Successful applicants will spend 12 months in the program getting mentorship, office space, learning opportunities, one-on-one coaching, and more. To apply, log on to bedc.bm. This is a free program with limited availability, so don't delay. Apply today. We look forward to helping you build your business.
All right, welcome back. She's Carla Zul. I'm Jamel Hartman. Thanks again to every last one of our partners, One Communications, Lindo's Medical House, Bermuda Economic Development Corporation, and our friends over at Channel 82. Just want to quick, before we get to the Daily Play and start laughing at, cheering Carla on, before we get to that part of the show, I just want to say, it was a podcast, right? Carla's been on it, and I was on it last week. I think it was released. And so a couple of people that actually listened to the podcast said to me, I did not know that about you. And here's what's interesting. I don't have any secrets, folks. So it's like, I thought you all knew this. Saying that to say, if you'd like to see what I sound like or what I say on the other side of the mic, you can actually tune in. Go to wherever you get your podcast from. It's Giving, Happiness, Empowerment, and Development. If you want the link to it, yeah, I'm not saying it. Yeah. He wants me to say Giving Head, right? Because that's where Carla. Right?
But what he said that you all don't know, he professed his undying love for his big sister Carla. That's what he said. Yeah, but go hear it for yourself on the podcast.
Yeah. So go check it out. If you want information, just send us a note and we'll send the link to you. But yeah, definitely interesting being on the other side of the mic, because one of the things I tell people, do not give me questions. I don't want to know. And that's why it fascinates
in advance.
Yeah, Carla and I speak about this all the time. When people ask us for questions in advance, like, that's not how this works. No, we're not doing it. So yeah, if you want to hear how I am on the spot, just hit me up. We'll send the link to you. That said, it is daily playtime. No, Carla isn't getting away from this daily play today. Thanks again to Coral Wells for coming on. Very important conversation. If you know someone who is into IT or information technology, sign them up. Tell them, let them get involved. All right, here's the daily play. It is who said it? Famous quote. I have faith that Carla will get this one time. Quote. I am no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I'm changing the things I cannot accept. End quote.
Martin Luther King Jr.? I don't know. It's somebody. I don't know.
Yeah, it is somebody.
No, I know, but you know what I mean. I'm trying to think because I know you always have a method for your madness.
Did I stump?
Bob Marley?
Nope.
I'm trying to tie it into the college.
The audience doesn't know either. They're out there googling.
Dr. Ewart Brown?
Nope. All right, read it one more time. Here's the quote, folks. I'm no longer accepting things I cannot change. I'm changing things that I cannot accept.
Mr. Marshall?
Nope.
It's your quote. It's your quote from your podcast. Oh, Angela Davis. Okay.
Yeah, it was Angela Davis. Mark says Don Cornelius. Nope, wasn't Don Cornelius. Carla John says Jesus said it. Well, I mean, we're not going to go there today. You ain't getting me struck by lightning. Look, what are you? We appreciate. Yes, it was Angela Davis. Thank you. I know you went Google on us, Robert. I know you went Google, but Carla, no prize for you today. You didn't get it. What are your thoughts on asking the audience as well? What are your thoughts on today's episode, the entire episode, Carla? What are your thoughts on it before we get to the daily inspiration?
I'll start with Coral, and I think it's awesome for this opportunity that they are lending young people, and that it's not grades driven, that it's passion driven. Because at the end of the day, no matter what field you're in, it's passion that gets you where you're going. And I think I've said all I have to say in regards to what you call him, Mr. Buds. I've said it all. People, we have the opportunity to let our voices be heard. So let's see what you do with it.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with Carla on both things. I almost feel like Steve Harvey and Strawberry Sherry. What's his name? Shirley.
I don't know.
I swear he disagrees with her on her strawberry letter every day. What? Did you read the same letter as me, Shirley? No. With Carl, I always disagree. It takes more than passion. There are a lot of passionate people. But if they don't have the work ethic, Allen Iverson, the most famous press conference in the history of basketball, practice? Nah, he was passionate about basketball. He just didn't have the work ethic in terms of practice. So passion is nothing without the work ethic. So I will just add that to it. I agree with Carl actually on the Mr. Bud situation. But where I disagree is let our voices be heard. No, our voice, we've been talking forever. It's time for action. So yeah, it's as I stated, it's on us. How we take that situation going forward, it's on us. No, with that said, it's time for some daily inspiration. I definitely need that. Ugh, it's short week, but we'll take it.
Listen, the hard days are what make you stronger. Ali Reisman.
Hard days make you stronger.
And can I say real quick, happy belated birthday. My daddy had a birthday yesterday and he watches our show every day. Happy birthday, Daddy.
What'd you get him?
A hug, a smile.
Hey, look, Pops. Hey, look. Al Cheapo already told me what she's got me for my birthday. I ain't even gonna say it. Just go look at her Facebook, folks. Al Cheapo. I know she ain't got you nothing, but no, happy birthday to your father. Short week this week, folks. Don't forget, we're not doing a show on Thursday, and then Good Friday. You all gave us the day off, so thank you for sticking with us. Any final words on today, Carla?
Hey, I'm Sadamo Mal. Just people, have a great day.
All righty. Thanks again to our partners, Medical House, One Communications, and Linda's for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again tomorrow. She's Carla Zul. I'm Jamal Hartman. My friends, make it a great day.